Hi, I'm Skylar Hawthorne. I'm a percussionist and a pianist, and tonight I'll be performing on the Vibraphone, aka the Vibes. I hope you enjoy my music. So that was Faded by Alan Walker. It probably sounded a bit different though, and that's because I arranged it. You see, there's not much music written for this instrument. It's primarily a jazz instrument and to be played with a jazz band, but I clearly don't have a band. So I take songs and I arrange them into a vibraphone song. I improvise over the chords, I add some notes, tweak the harmony, beef up the melody, and have a bunch of fun with it. So next, here's Clocks by Coldplay. For my last song, I'd like to play a piano arrangement. It's Faded again, but this time is a bit different because I've got 10 fingers to play with instead of 4 mallets. I've also combined it with the theme from Interstellar, the Christopher Nolan movie, except I've really arranged this one. The original is in 3/4 with a steady, constant rhythm. My arrangement is in a totally different time signature, 4/4, and I've syncopated the rhythm. It's a lot crazier now. I hope you enjoy. I have a lot more music to share with the world, but I kept this concert short and sweet for all you virtual viewers. So if you'd like to hear more of my music, check out my you can find me on YouTube. Just search Skylar Hawthorne. And if you'd like to hear about my future performances, check out my website, skylarhawthorne.com. Thanks again.
Hello, so I am here with Skylar, I am Gia, and let's start talking. So, Skylar, tell me about how you embody feminism in your musical career.
Well, for me, one of the most important aspects of feminism is representation. We've seen how movies can be inspirational, like Wonder Woman, or how Brave, the Disney movie about a princess archer, inspired girls to take up archery. In my field, percussion, women are severely underrepresented. So if anyone were to ever see me playing a vibraphone and think, wow, that's really cool, I want to try doing something unique and cool like that, then I'll have succeeded as a feminist.
Great, I love that. So what are some gender-based issues that you believe exist in the music world or that you have experienced?
Yeah, there's many. That makes me think back to when I was a freshman in music school. I was once hanging out with a bunch of percussionists when we decided to see who has the fastest hands. The winner was a tiny petite woman. People were very surprised, and some men, especially this one big burly drummer, were unnerved. But we all know that speed is more about technique than physical strength. So of course women can play just as fast as men. This is just one example of how women are perceived as inferior, and this perspective must be abolished. I believe this is one of the greatest things that feminism can accomplish and is accomplishing.
How do you use your music in response to these issues?
Well, I'm no Wonder Woman, but I do have a niche talent. I hope that me being a musician might help undermine some unconscious biases. Like, I can do something that most people would never even dream about doing. So maybe women are just as cool and talented as men? We absolutely are. It's absurd this is even questioned. My music might not do much to help that, but every little bit in every little way helps.
And are there any specific things that you would like to spread awareness for today?
Yeah, I feel like I already have my with my insider take on the plight of women in percussion, but I also have an insider take on the plight of women in the world. As a transgender woman, I'm uniquely aware of the biases each gender face. I stayed deeply in the closet for 20 years. I cultivated a very convincing masculine facade. Nobody suspected I was actually and inherently a woman. And why did I live so long as inauthentic? Because of toxic masculinity. I was terrified of admitting my feminine side to myself and to society. But everyone has a feminine side. Even the most masculine men have a feminine side. And it's a tragedy it's repressed. If more men came to terms with their feminine side, the world would be a much more loving place. So to any man watching this, I want you to know that it's okay to feel emotions. It's okay to reach out for support. And it's okay if you can't always be the rock of a relationship. Feminine used to have this stigma of men hating, but as society has evolved, so has feminism. And now intersectional feminism is here to help everyone. We recognize that men are more likely to receive harsher sentences in court, that men are more likely to commit suicide, are 10 times more likely to not receive custody of children in divorces, and men are often ignored or not believed to be victims of sexual assault. What's striking about these instances of sexism against men is how they're mostly perpetrated by other men, toxic masculinity. Also, most men don't experience those sexist norms against men. Most men don't go to court, but every woman experiences sexism. Since transitioning, I've been made painfully aware of the double standards that women face. I get told how to sit, how to act, how to dress,
Nobody ever commented on those things when I was a man, but I guess it's more permissible to judge women. And now I'm a scholar at U of M, and even there, it's evident that my appearance and demeanor correlate with my perceived worth. I've never been more judged by how I looked than since I transitioned. We learn in elementary school not to judge a book by its cover. I'm blonde, I'm skinny, but I'm not a bimbo. Don't interrupt me, don't ignore me. My words have just as much meaning as any man's. I'm not being pushy or bitchy. I'm being just as assertive as any man. I'm getting a bit emotional, but I've never been more judged or interrupted than since I transitioned. And the worst part is, the one thing that being both genders has taught me the most is that we're not different. Men and women are really not that different. We're way more alike than we are different. We have slightly different bodies, and that's really it. Yet people focus on our differences. People draw divides between us. People conjecture absurd reasons about why the gender binary exists and why it should be that way. But it shouldn't be this way. The gender binary is a social construct. It only exists because we think it does. It's an erroneous social norm. To progress as a society, we need to tear it down. Life's hard for everyone. There's no need for society to make it harder for outgroups. We're all part of one large in-group, humans. We need to stop seeing people as men or women, but first and foremost, as humans.
That was fantastic. That was beautifully said. I loved how you emphasized the point of how feminism needs to be intersectional, and I thank you for sharing your story. It was absolutely beautiful. And thank you, Skylar. Wow.
You're so welcome, Gia. Thank you for giving me this platform.
Yeah, of course.